are very, very slow to trust. They do tend to be selfish. And they tend to be selfish because they have to be in the limelight. They have to be seen. They have to be heard. Otherwise, no one's going to hear their message, right? And the leader is here to facilitate, to lead people into battle, to lead people through their shadow of death, to lead people somewhere, somehow. They also love to win. A leader loves to win almost at any cost, and depending upon their values, they may cheat just so they can win. This might trigger some of us or some of you. They tend to be seductive, manipulative. They can be very charming. They can be very charismatic, and they can be very, very powerful goddesses, right? And they also have a deep, deep sensitive nature, much like this lady over here. They like this lady over here. They have this deep, deep sensitive nature, and they need this deep sensitive nature for them to feel the calling, to feel the passion, to feel the desire to change something wrong. They're each built to lead based on their secondary archetype, which I explained a little bit before. And as I go through the explanation of all these personalities, it's going to become clearer to you. But in a nutshell, they can lead by being creative, like the Einsteins and the George O'Keeffes of the world, to be super innovators, like Steve Jobs. They can be organizers, like lawyers, police officers, anything that anybody, accountants, anything that loves to organize chaos, or being through networking by bringing people together and creating beautiful social events. They're advocates. They can be advocating for someone else. They are the ones that fight for the underdog. So they have the sensitive nature about them. So they have compassion for the underdog and they want to fight. So they have that passion within them that they're willing to go on a battlefield and die for. Think Braveheart, Mel Gibson, out there on his horse in front of the farmers, getting them to go into battle so that their freedoms are not overrun, their freedoms are not overtaken. Was he a little selfish? Yeah. Was he a little charismatic? Yeah. Was he good to look at? Yeah. All qualities of a leader. Okay, so those are what they're meant to do in their soul purpose wise. But when they're defended, they're not so pretty. These are the power over people. My way or the highway, right? They tend to dominate, control. They can scare the skin off of a snake. And when I say defensive, this feels like they're trying to control you, which is right, but it's the root cause of that is fear. Their fear that they're not being loved, they're not being heard, they're not being understood. And they see the big picture, another quality. They see the big picture, so they know what's right for the cause they're fighting for. And there's the thing, if they're fighting for bigger picture for the greater good, or are they fighting for their particular selfish agendas? Just depends, right? So they scare the skin off a snake. They're the takers of the world. They're fully justified narcissists because in their mind's eye, they have the answers. They know what's right, and it's by follow me, right? Who's here have heard of Miss? Carolyn Miss? And she's got the 5 power archetypes, one of them being the victim. And each one of us goes through the path of the victim, which is victim, which looks like this person over here. Where are we? That looks like these 2 people over here. There's the victimizer. And then there's victorious, where you're in your power, you're empowered, and you're serving your soul's purpose. When a leader is overworked, overtired, and just need time to regroup, they can fall into poor me. And that's why I put her up here. This is the sensitive part. And they may want to be sensitive, but they don't like to show it. And so they'll hide it. And especially if you're an achiever, it breaks all your rules for who you're supposed to be. So you pull up your bootstraps and you move motor on through. But you need to honor this part of you, this sensitive part of you. Otherwise, it eats at you inside. Talk about that a little bit. So I want you to go ahead and get your journal out. And I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Number 1 is, based on what you just saw, what defensive soul qualities did you recognize in yourself? What surprised you? What higher self soul qualities did you recognize in yourself that you haven't seen before? And then what soul qualities did you recognize in other people, especially the person that you're getting ready to heal your relationship with? So go ahead and pause this video. When you're back, come back and we're going to talk about the next soul archetype.